Sources of project financing is really urgent.
We have taken the firm position that as a country we are going green, and we are well on course. As you are aware, we are currently at 93% of our energy is green. We intend to get it to 100% by 2030, and we are well on course on ensuring that we go green. Some of the commitments that we have made out of COP27 that have been in discussion with various other countries like the UK and other private sector players, which we managed to sign off in this COP27, confirm that we are well on course in that journey. For your information, in this COP27 we have signed for the generation of another 10,000 megawatts of power from geothermal resources, 20,000 megawatts of energy from both solar and wind resources. And this will not only be part of what we will want to feed into our grid as we take our country to 100% green power, but also to set up green industries on manufacture of fertilizer, on manufacture of green hydrogen, so that Kenya becomes a net exporter of green energy. We have had conversations on how we need to work on the green economy, green housing, e-mobility, and I think that's the whole space we have discussed with various multilateral and bilateral institutions on how to progress our green economy going into the future. I think technology is really the game changer here. Technology is giving us the opportunity to create cheaper, much more affordable alternatives, whether it is in batteries or in panels or in all the other products around energy. And that's why Kenya is a champion on green energy, knowing very well that we have hydrocarbons, we have huge deposits of coal, but we have made a conscious decision that we want to go green because we all now know the folly of dirty energy that is causing untold suffering globally, but much more at home. We are seeing climate change has ravaged our country. We have 4.3 million people on food insecurity. We have lost 2.5 million heads of livestock. So climate change is a living reality for us, and we can never make the choice to do the wrong thing. We must now be alive to doing the right thing, and the right thing is to go green. Take home from here is that finally we are having the right conversation. The right conversation is about loss and damage. The right conversation is about the special place of Africa. And the right conversation is that Africa is not just a victim, but Africa can also work with the world to provide the solution to the effects of climate change. Africa offers its huge geothermal, hydro, wind, solar resources, green energy to power the progress of the world. Africa also is offering, and when I say Africa, I mean including Kenya, gives us the opportunity of the population that we have, the youngest population in the globe, and the opportunities that come with it. So apart from our continent being a victim, apart from the discussion we are having about loss and damage, we are also having a positive conversation about Africa being at the center of the solution to to the ravages of climate change. Secondly, we are going home from here with investments upwards of $30 billion. As you have seen, we have signed off agreements with the UK, we have signed off agreements with the private sector developers, and we are living here with firm agreements on the exploitation of geothermal resources, wind, solar resources, and shortly we will be on the highway to getting Kenya where we all want Kenya to be. And Kenya is providing the leadership. As the chair of the Committee of Heads of State and Governments on Climate Change, we are providing the leadership for Africa to be front and center of the solution to the challenge of climate change, not just a victim. We could do better. I think the commitments that were made since 15 years ago, the commitments that were made in Glasgow, the commitments that were made in Copenhagen, the commitments that were made in Paris, they are yet to be fulfilled. And though there is trickling of those resources, I think alternatives are in discussion. Carbon markets is an alternative that we are working with, and Kenya is a champion in that space. And so apart from the commitments that we are expecting globally, we are also exploring opportunities with the private sector in carbon markets, in carbon credit. And I am confident that finally the whole world is going to come to terms with the existential threat that we face as humanity, not necessarily as Africans, and be able to take the right steps.